were afraid to tell the truth. The truth is too, this phrase that Foster used, too ghastly to contemplate. The change that happened with the ANC leadership in 2007 was real change. It put in place in the leadership of the ANC people who were not ANC, were afraid to tell that truth. You have this ANC led by people who are wearing ANC t-shirts, but they are not ANC. The way it happened was because there was a very, very systematic program on the part of the apartheid regime in its own defense to infiltrate the ANC and the rest of the liberation movement. Very, very heavy infiltration. Yeah. As the ANC, we had all of the machineries. Let's check everybody who's joining and that. That was done. And some people were found and said, no, you can't belong among us. But there are many people who missed out. And some of them became part of the national leadership with the ANC in 2007. I'm talking about agents of the old regime. Were afraid to tell that truth. So this person who was wearing an ANC t-shirt, who was carrying a big ANC title, is not the ANC. This is a person who was infiltrated by the old order into the ANC, but now occupies a senior position in the ANC. And what's their task? The task is to repeat what their handler tells them to repeat. So you and I get surprised. It would be very, very logical, it's obvious, for the current ANC leadership to say, this is how well we did. Until somebody else intervened to negate what we're doing. So the population will say, now we understand why things have gone wrong. We've been blaming you all the time. That's you and I think that would be the logical thing to do. But it doesn't happen. How do you explain it? I'm saying the way to explain it is if we lose this fear of telling the truth, to say the people who are not behaving logically, who are not saying, I did a good thing yesterday, and I would have done a good thing today, except that somebody else intervened to sabotage. He doesn't say that. And allows the blame to fall on himself. Or you are responsible for all of these bad things. Instead of saying, no, I'm not. They don't. And the reason they don't is because they belong among the bad people.
Maybe
that's the truth. That's the truth, you see. And I'm saying it's difficult to say it. When we talk about counter-revolution, that, from day one, from 1994, there are people from the old order who said, the ANC thinks it has won a war. It hasn't in 1994. The ANC has won a battle, but we will win the war. And they intervened to make sure that they win the war. That's where we are today. The negatives that you see, as you say, that you have a certain period, first 15 years of our democracy, very positive. And the next 15 years, the opposite direction. Why? Why the sudden change? It's because the people were saying, the ANC thinks it has won the war, it hasn't. We will win the war. That's the result of that. To put in place their own people and put in place their own programs to make sure that this ANC, which they fought for 100 years, fails. And they are working together with their own people whom they had infiltrated into the ANC, who are now sitting in senior positions in the ANC. And you see it every day. You see it every day. You see, for instance, what's happened to the initiative for a national dialogue. Some people intervene to derail it because they don't want national dialogue to take place. Why? Who is this person who calls themselves progressive and doesn't want the ordinary